Okay, welcome back to our look at John 14, verse 6, and we're trying to discover a little bit more about Jesus and what he means to you and I. We travelled around and we looked at who Jesus is. We looked at the Bible background. We looked at the fact that it says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Last time I spoke, we talked about the way, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the truth. Now, to be honest, this is the most troublesome part of it all. I mean, this is the bit that causes most people most problems. Again, it would appear when you listen to the words of Jesus straight out, I mean, how arrogant, how bigoted. He claims to be the truth. Who does he think he is? Well, what is truth anyway? I mean, it seems to be nobody's really sure anymore. It really does seem to be up for debate. And why did Jesus claim to have a monopoly on truth? If Jesus were just a man, I mean, even if Jesus were just a great man and a wise man, then these views would still be offensive to many people because he's saying, I am the truth. He's personifying it. But if Jesus actually is who he says he is, the Son of God, sent by God, the Father, as a saviour for all of us, then the claims he makes actually do make sense. And they become comforting rather than offensive. But only if Jesus is who he says he is. Otherwise, he's in big trouble. And so are we if we believe him. Now, truth, the word truth, is a prickly subject. Once upon a time, I think truth used to mean truth. Simple as that. But it's no longer that simple. I mean, the chair, I'm sitting on this chair now, it will probably have a safe working load, especially with me sitting on it. Tim Bloomfield, you're listening, no jokes. Okay, so therefore I can sit on it without collapsing and I can be very reassured. That's true. But today, truth seems to be anything we want it to mean. It has become subjective, not objective. That means it's subject to how I feel. It's subject to what else is going around, whether I really want to accept truth as truth. Just because something appears true for me, that doesn't mean to say it has to be true for you or for everyone. That seems a little bit crazy to me. I don't know about you, but it's honestly how many people think and how the world seems to operate today. One reason for thinking like this may be for the sake of convenience or the avoidance of conflict. I mean, after all, there are so many views and philosophies and religions out there. It may be easier and simpler to allow for those to all be accepted. And so what might be true for you might not be true for me, and vice versa. And that might be the easiest way of just wiping a gloss over it all and just accepting it. But if different truths in my mind disagree or contradict with each other, then surely, by definition, they cannot all be true. Or am I being silly? What do you think? We've got to decide what to do with this truth issue and the fact that Jesus said, I am the truth. Now, when words written in Hebrew or Greek or other languages are translated from the Bible into English, sometimes they can have several meanings and we plump for the best one. Another word or another English word we could use here instead of truth is, so I'm told by the experts, is the word real or reality. Okay, so Jesus said, I am real, or I am reality. And to me, this also makes perfect sense because to me, Jesus is the real deal. He is reality. His claims to be the truth, the very personification of truth. And that forces us once again to decide how to think about this. Now, either Jesus is lying, in which case there's no truth in him at all. And he's not telling the truth about anything. Nothing he says can be trusted. In which case, we need to dismiss him. But on the other hand, if he is telling the truth, and he is literally the truth, then we would be very wise to sit up and take notice and find out what else he's got to say and how it affects us. So we should really be paying attention. We have to decide. So it's a prickly subject. I've only glossed the surface. I hope you'll stick with this study and this exploration of who Jesus is, what he said and what he did, and we can explore that. In the meantime, please, you decide. Was Jesus telling the truth or wasn't he? Is he the real deal or is he a fake? We've got to cross that one and deal with that one, and then we can move on. One more thing to say just before I go. In this series of talks that you'll find on the Which Way Now Facebook page, we're also going to do a few little written notes that we're not going to voice up or do as videos. And what I'd like to do is just do a basic reading of Matthew. I've just started reading the Gospel of Matthew when I read the Bible, and it occurred to me I could just make a few notes and ask a few questions. So as I read through Matthew chapter by chapter, I'm just going to post up in writing 3 very brief thoughts and 3 very brief questions, and I'm hoping that you'll do the same, that you'll read Matthew and then look at the notes. Take you about a minute and a half to read them, but to ponder the question might take longer. So we'll hope to see you again, and next time we talk, we'll be talking about Jesus said, I am the life. Thank you very much. Don't forget, subscribe, ask your questions. We haven't had many questions. We've had lots of people watching, but you're not put your head up yet and ask your questions. Please feel free to do. I'm very good with the easy questions. Hard ones I ask my wife, but please ask away. Thank you very much.